All right, we have head UTSA women's basketball coach Karen Aston's weekly media availability the week of February 17th, 2025. Last week, the Roadrunners took down East Carolina 60-46 before besting Memphis 80-61 in the Convocation Center. This week, a little bit of a break. They don't play until Saturday. They'll visit Rice. And then, because I don't know if we're going to be able to have another media availability before this, they'll take on Tulane Tuesday, February 25th on the road. Coach, if you can start us off with an opening statement, and then we'll open it up to questions.
Yeah, really proud of our group. Our resilience really through the games last week. I thought they were both very physical, very tough. It's that time of the year where your mental toughness and sometimes it takes over a little bit more than the physical does. And I thought we weathered some storms and really proud of them. I think this break came at a good time. We were able to take off yesterday and lighten the load today, and then we'll start to get ready for Rice tomorrow. But just looking forward to the stretch run.
Jerry?
Yeah, Coach, I see, the Roadrunners are sitting in first place, one game in the loss column ahead of South Florida. Just wanted to ask, what do you make of your chances to win this regular season championship?
Well, we control our own destiny at this point as far as the fact that we are one game up right now, but there's just a lot of basketball to play. In particular, road games that are never easy. So I think we just have to continue to take the same approach that we've really taken since day one, which is one game at a time. And Rice is the next opponent, and there's really not much to worry about other than Rice right now. You can always talk about it and look forward to the potential of something, but I personally I thought that it was a big accomplishment to secure the double bye, and I also think that there's some little goals ahead here as far as just trying to finish maybe in the top two. So I think that we can still minimize the goals and not make it such a big deal, because there are some small little things that we're still trying to get accomplished.
Remus?
Coach Ryan, I apologize if my audio is bad. I am outside right now. But, Coach, you guys faced Rice earlier in the season, and you guys did require a little bit of a big effort in the fourth quarter to come back in that game. What is the game plan in the second matchup against Rice to make sure that you guys don't fall down big?
Well, I don't think we ever plan on falling down big for sure. I think it's a bit of a trend with this team that we haven't started great, and we really need to focus on getting off to a better start, especially on the road. But I haven't started studying them. They do play again tomorrow. They're playing well right now. They didn't have one of their players when we played them, so I think we'll have to adjust to that. But everybody's playing for some type of position right now, and I think our team understands that. I don't think we're oblivious to that. I think we respect every opponent, but it's just a long grind of a season, and you get some players that maybe their bodies are not as fresh as they need to be in certain games, and I think that the great part about where we are is that we're starting to get some contributions from some young guys that we weren't getting early in the conference season. So I think that should be a lift for the players that have maybe played heavy minutes, that there's not such a pressure on them, because I do think that we're getting some contributions from other people now.
Jerry?
Coach, what makes Rice so dangerous? They came in here and y'all were tied, I think, with about 3.5 minutes to go before y'all made that late push. And the other day they were at South Florida and took South Florida to triple overtime, I believe. What makes them such the record doesn't show it, but they are really pretty dangerous. So what makes them that way?
Well, I think they're very balanced. I think that's the biggest thing. You can't just key on one or two players. I think they have an established player in the paint, a fantastic guard forward that's one of the best players in the league, and their point guard play has just gotten better and better. So I think they've just found they have quite a bit of balance. They have a good bench. So can't again, it's just one of those teams that you can't just key on one person. They do lead the league right now in rebounding, which I value tremendously, and they're right now the best team in the league in rebounding. So they give themselves extra possessions, and they do a great job on the defensive boards. So they control that for themselves, and I think that will always be a tough matchup when you play somebody that's as good as they are on the boards.
Jerry?
Hey, Coach, just want to ask, what makes UTSA such a good road team this year? You guys have, you played well everywhere, but on the road, you guys just seem to, have a sense of calm about them. I know there have been a couple of games that have maybe you were a little nervous about going into the fourth quarter, but you guys always seem to come up with big plays, even on the road. What makes you so good out there away from home?
I think it's just experience. I think it goes back to why we've been successful this year in general has been leadership, experienced leadership that has an ability to stay calm in fires and in storms. And I think that even when if you have young players in there, they stay pretty calm just because of the effect of the leaders. So I think that's, don't get me wrong, I'd much rather play in the convo. We've been pretty good at home too, but I just think leadership matters, and I think it's been extremely solid from day one. And we just haven't had a big roller coaster of leadership, and I think that's been the biggest effect on this team.
And Coach, I know you haven't. I know you said you hadn't looked ahead to Rice just yet, but if you were to say right now, like what would be your game plan against the two players Leah Fisher and Susie Glifak, who in their last game, Fisher had 14 points, Glifak had 16 points, and they seem to be the most effective players for Rice in the last game that you guys played against them. So, what would be your game plan against them in this game on Saturday?
I don't think that there is a game plan necessarily for Fisher. I think she's just such a competitive basketball player that, you obviously don't want her to have a huge night and have 30 or 40, but I just think there has to be a constant amount of attention to detail and attention to effort because they play so hard. They're very good defensively. They change defenses on you. I don't know that I have a game plan right now for those two, but we'll do the best that we can. They're really, really good on the boards. We have to be much better on the boards than we've been in the last two games because that's been an Achilles heel for us, quite honestly. And I think I do take a lot of pride in rebounding, and we just haven't been very good the last few games. We have to be better.
Jerry?
Coach, your team was shooting the ball earlier in the season. Your team was shooting the ball pretty well from the 3-point arc. Not so well lately, although last game was pretty good. You come back a little bit. What is your what do you think about your chances of picking that percentage up a little bit here coming down the stretch? Do you think that's your 3-point shooting has a chance to come back to where it was earlier in this year? What's your forecast there?
Oh, it'll come back. We shot better on Saturday, and if we didn't have players in the gym, I'd be concerned. And if I hadn't seen the ball go in, I would be concerned. But that's not really a concern of mine. We have players in the gym nonstop, trying to get them out of the gym sometimes. And you go through periods of time. When you play as many minutes as, in particular, Nina and Sid have, every day is not going to be perfect. Every day is not going to be perfect for anyone, and they're going to stay in the gym. I'm not worried about them at all, and I'm not worried about us as far as that's concerned because whatever they're going through, they're going to work themselves out of it by getting in the gym, and that's really the only answer. You don't just miraculously have something get better if you don't work at it, and it's just not a concern of mine at all.
Coach, after a slow start to this season, at least offensively, Adara Udo, she's been playing much better as of recently. Can you talk about her impact, her elevated level of play, and what do you think her impact is going to be during Saturday's game?
I think Idara impacts every game we play. There's no question about that. She has a unique, for lack of better words, personality that feeds into our team. And, I just think that I do agree with you that she's playing at a very high level right now. And I'm pleased with her progress. And I think it just goes back to what I just was explaining to Jerry about how I feel about the players is that they're still in the gym. I mean, we're winding season down, and you still see players staying after practice. You see them before getting in shots. You see them scheduling times with the coaches at sometimes 7 a.m. in the morning, and you're talking about a young lady that has a very rigorous academic schedule, and the fact that she's still, just grinding away, trying to find ways to get better, as are most of our players, if not all of them. I just think it's a tribute to the culture that we have right now. I think it's a tribute to the staff that they encourage them and work with them to get in the gym. And then I think at most and foremost, it's a tribute to the players that they want to be in the gym and that they're not satisfied with where they are, and they know that there's still work to be done. And that Idara is just a reflection of that too.
All right, looks like that'll close things out. Thanks, everybody.
Thank y'all.